Hello, everyone. And today we are going to talk about using Playwright with Java programming for UI automation, UI functional test automation. So, as I said, that there are mainly two kind of automation strategy in terms of um, deciding what you want to use for your automation. One is coded script, right? So where you have to write the code for your automation purpose. And another is codeless or low code tool. Generally, this codeless and low code automation tool comes with the license and company has to pay for it. They had to renew it, let's say every year, and certain number of users account will be created so that you can use it. For example, you have UFT, QTP, these things, Tosca. There are a lot of tools available in the market. Another thing is coded tool, where company want to work on the test automation without paying anything, right? So then the major player is Selenium, Playwright, Cypress, where you have to write the code and then execute it, and your test automation code will be started and it will execute test cases, right? But it's coded part means you have to write the code for it, right? Now, today we are going to see about the Playwright with Java part. I'll give you a simple example also about how the code looks like. And let's see that. So I just want to present one very simple PPT here just to understand what Playwright is actually. Right? So, thing is, Playwright is open source automation framework by Microsoft. So it's not very new, right? So some team from the Microsoft, they started working on it more than 5 years back. So within like first 1 or 2 year, it was not too much famous. It's like this, or not many companies were using it, but slowly it it's like evolved and more project and companies have started using it because of its simplicity, because of the support which is available in different language, because it is, you know, faster in terms of execution, in terms of handling the wait mechanism. It's more efficient than other tools. Here I'm not comparing with any other tool, but it is found that if you write the code properly, it shows a better result in terms of speed, in terms of doing parallel testing, right? Like in terms of having your framework also easily made, right? It's like this. And it is built for the end-to-end testing for the web application, but it supports API testing also. So if you want to do API testing also using Playwright, it's possible. Okay. It supports multiple browser. You can work with Chromium, Firefox, WebKit. So when we say Chromium, WebKit, these are not the real browser. These are the browser engine. So when you work with any browser in the background, this is a pure engine which works, and Playwright actually executes the test case on the engine based pure browser, right? It's not the real browser which you open actually, right? So that's the difference between Selenium or here also. The thing is, when you work with the Selenium, it works with the real browser using a driver in between. Right? Whereas in the Playwright, it starts through the engine part of it, right? Browser engine part of it. We'll see the technicality part of it later on. Purpose is yes, reliable, scalable, and fast testing. It is cross-platform. When we say cross-platform means you write your test code in different machine and you can execute also in different machine. So it's good. Write anywhere, execute anywhere. That is cross-platform. Okay. Automatic wait is there. Network interception and mocking is present for the API part. It supports headless mode and headed mode. So what is headless mode? Is like when you execute your test case, you will not be able to see the browser. In the background, it will be executed. It's like this. When you say headed mode, that means the browser will be visible. I will show you this example. Um, Comparison with Selenium and Cypress, it is very obvious. People will compare with this thing. You search about it, you will be able to learn about this thing. But you cannot come to the conclusion without actually using it, right? So if a person who has not used anything, so it's a waste of time of comparing all these things. Try it on your own. Write some code in Selenium, write some code on Cypress, write some code for the, let's say, with Playwright, let's say 15 test cases in all the tools and then execute it and then understand, okay, whether something is faster, how, whether it is easy to use, right, whether it is easy to maintain. Those things will come automatically. So I'm not going to compare like chart by chart, point by point. This is just a point that learn about it, talk about it. It's like this. Speed is there, browser support is good, ease of use is good. Language, as I said, it supports JavaScript, Python, C Sharp, Java. That means any one language you can pick and start using Playwright. It's like this. There are advanced features related to parallelism. So you can run your test cases in parallel. By default, it is parallel. And you can extend number of browsers which you want to open. That's possible. Trace viewer is there. That means debugging part is good with the Playwright. You can debug it at the same time when you are writing the code and then execute it. You will be able to see for this line what is happening, for next line what is happening, for next line what is happening. That's possible. So yes, reporter is there. Inbuilt HTML report is there, but you can plug different kind of other reporters also for the reporting mechanism, like Allure reporting you can add, right? Screenshots and video you can capture very easily. Those things are good with the Playwright. Continuous integration, when you say, it's like you can put your code in the GitHub. You can use Git actions to execute your test cases. You can put it into Jenkins job to execute it. It means it's easily integrate with the Playwright code. It's like this. Okay. All these things, what we are talking about, when we actually do the this practice and the session in the future, we will actually do all these things practically. Everything, whatever I am discussing here, you will see the example of all these things like working code to put it into the CI pipeline, to see the reports, to integrate it with Jenkins, create the Jenkins job and execute it. We will see it practically. Best practices is this: writing the stable test. You can use reusable test step or fixtures for the better code management. There are some selectors and locators which you can use efficiently. Um, and there are assertions. A good assertion techniques are available here in the Playwright, which you can implement. So what is assertion? Assertion is like some most of the times it's the last step of your test case where you match, whether expected result is matching with the actual result or not. That is called assertion. That's it. We will do directly a practical right now, and you can ask any question um, about the capabilities, why it is a strong choice, right? We'll talk about it if you have any query. But before that, let's take an example. Let's take one example. Okay, let me talk about the roadmap part first, right? So if you want to learn with Playwright with Java, how should be the ideal roadmap? Roadmap, okay, or plan, proper plan to learn and implement Playwright. Okay. Basic thing is you should know some basics about HTML, first of all, and CSS and basic of JavaScript, right? Very basic thing, not like in advanced concept and all. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, don't underestimate it. If you want to become test automation engineer, you should know about these things practically. Right? You should be able to make a simple table using HTML. You should be able to create drop down, right? Very simple things. W3 Schools is a website. From there, you can learn it. Okay? W3 Schools is a very good website where tutorials are available. But do all the things practically. Okay? Then Java, because I'm talking about Java part here because our future session is on Java as of now here. So Java part, yes, core Java part which we say or basics. So basic is not just like writing a simple for loop. No, no, no. When we say okay, let me delete it, otherwise it you can misinterpret it. Core Java, core Java. So right from writing your first code using different things, then using data type, you should understand how if else works, switch case, for loop, different kind of loops, then the object oriented concept, function, constructor, um, all those things, exception handling, some of data structure part like using collection, um, file handling, right? At least these things, right? So the purpose of the upcoming sessions are not like teaching Java part. That is very clear. Though we are using Java for the period, but if you will learn Java, it will take 2 to 3 months. Our basic agenda is here to develop the framework step by step from the very scratch to a good level where you understand why the framework is important, why people create the framework, right, and how to use it. Our focus will be more on the framework side that will make you mature in terms of technical knowledge, in terms of professional knowledge about why framework is important, how people create it, what are the different components, how you integrate it with GitHub, how you manage your code, how you create Jenkins job, right? In companies, how people are working with the Playwright. That is the motto, right? So we'll do all the practical thing about it. What I'm saying about the real roadmap, the ideal roadmap should be like this. So you can learn Java parallelly also with the Playwright. If you don't know about Java, it's better to properly practically work on it. So for that, I can tell you there is playlist available. I'll share. Hold on. So I created a good playlist about Java part. Uh, I can share that. I can share the whole playlist. Hold on. I will share the whole playlist. Wait. From this channel playlist, I'm sharing right now in the chat window. So I made Java is easy, this playlist. And I have kept deliberately the name is Java is easy so that people who have fear of coding at least understand that no, no, it's not difficult. It's easy. Right? If you do it proper in a proper way, step by step, it's not difficult. Fine. So I have made around 50 sessions, like 10 to 15 minutes, or sometimes more than that. But generally, average 20 minutes for each session. It's like this. You go through it, you will be able to learn core Java part. That is for sure. One by one, step by step, if you do it, I have talked all in all practical sense. Whatever I have put it here, it's all simple, practical, which you can see in the video and then implement it in your system. Do some changes on your own also to check different kind of concepts, but in a very easy way, one by one you can learn it. So objective is, if you want to learn Playwright, learn Java also properly. If you want to work with Playwright with Java, learn it, then Playwright will part will come. It's like this, right? So what we are going to do is, it will take 5 to 6 weeks. 5 to 6 weeks, Monday to Thursday, we will do practice. It's like this, right? So timing and all, we will share it later on. But this is the agenda for us. But these things you have to learn on your own. It's like this. I can help you on, like, from where you should learn and all. If you stuck at any particular concept, I can help you. I can give you the resources. Okay, read these things, do this thing. That I can. But this particular session, which we are going to start, is not about learning Java part. It's more of about framework. So what we are going to do is framework design step by step and logical thinking about why we are doing this thing, right? Like this. And at the end of the whole course, you will get a framework. Okay, you will get a confidence that, okay, I can also create the framework. It's not a big deal. See, when you use framework and all, it's not a, very, it's not a big deal. You can create it. It's just, different components. You learn it, different things you learn it and combine it. That is called framework, right? Fine. Okay. So syllabus and all, we will share it like later on. What are the things we are going to include, or at the end we will see. But let's automate something. Let's understand how this works. Very classical example every time I take is, let's say there is a website, this one, and I want to click on the login, and I want to pass some user ID and password. Let's say invalid user ID and password, some invalid thing. If I click on the login, this message should appear. This is my manual test case that I want to open this, right? A particular website. Then I want to click on login. I want to provide some bad user ID password. And when I click on the login, some message should come. Manual case. Now let's automate it. So before you automate, let's understand there is an official website to do these things, right? So that website is playwright.dev. This one is the official. This is the official website, playwright.dev. And if you go to the documentation, you will be able to see that, okay, what are the things to install, what are the basic code you can write to start with, opening a website and all. A lot of this documentation is very good. They have provided all the things, how to install, how to work with it, different kind of locators, right? If I'll search simply here locator, so you will be able to see what is called CSS locator, some example and all, right? Most of the part we will also cover during the session. But let's understand first, when you want to automate something, what would be the steps? What are the steps? I want to open browser, correct? That will be my step, first step. Second step will be like open particular website, correct? Website address you will be putting. And then what you will do, you will go to the login. So there is a button here in this website. If I go to the home page, there is a login link. So navigate to login page. Navigate to. I'm writing the manual text step as of now. Fourth is like specify user ID and password. Fifth step is click on login button. If you see here, after this, you provide some user ID and password, and then you click on the login button and then verify the error message is coming or not, right? So once you click on it, your sixth step is basically verify. Verify error message, right? Something like this should be there, correct? Manual steps. For any tool, when you use it, you will be doing the same thing, correct? Steps is same. Now, how you will automate it? So I am showing you a very simple example how you can start with this and how it will work. So let's understand that part. With Java, there are two kind of project you can make. One is called normal Java project, and one is called Maven project. Okay. So Java projects are simple where you add the things on your own. If you want to add any library, you will add the jars, correct? And one is called Maven project where all the dependency is handled using POM file. Okay. If you have not heard about it, don't worry about it as of now. Just understand that Java programming, you can write basic Java code. And if you want to work with some tool, correct, or some, sorry, libraries, you have to add that library so that you can use the syntax provided by that library, correct? So Playwright is kind of API or the jar or the library provided by Microsoft.Playwright, right? This one. So we are adding that dependency to our project. It's like this. Another plugin, don't worry about it as of now. I have added some Maven compiler, but it is not mandatory to add to start with. But the code, I'm not writing code as of now. I'll explain you the simplicity of it. It's like this. Later on, when you will actually do the session, we will do this step by step. The thing is, I'm creating a very simple Java class, right? And then these three steps are required to open the browser. So the very first step which we were doing, and we don't have to mug it, first of all. Coding is all about understanding the logical sequence of it, right? Everything is logical. It's not like that you have to mug it that, okay, this is the thing I have to write. No, no, no. You have to understand that why we are doing it. Once you understand it, you will write your own code. It's like this, right? So this one is basically creating a playwright object here. It's creating a basic playwright object so that now you can work with anything like browser opening and all. So then you are saying that I want to launch a particular browser using headless mode, right? Headless mode false I have written this. That means I want to see it in headed mode, means the browser should be visible. It's like this. And then you are passing the control to browser object. Then it is decided that what kind of browser you want to use. This will open the browser. It will actually open the browser as a new page. And then there are different things like I want to open this website. So the function is pg.navigate. So navigate function will open a particular website which you will provide. Now everything will be PG, right? Whatever you will write, you have a control of your page now. Now you will do different things. So I want to click on the login link. So basically, if you see the website, let's go to the home page. I want to click on this, right? So the basic concept in automation is you have to identify the element first. Then only you can perform action on it. So whatever you see in a website is called um, elements, page elements or web elements. How you can find the details about it? You can say inspect, right click and inspect. And then you can basically check the code behind this. So there is an arrow icon here, inspect icon, click here and go here. So this is showing me the code behind it is there is an anchor element which has class value something, href attribute value something, and then text. There is some text. Now there are different ways to identify element. You must have heard about XPath, CSS selector, link text, class name, ID. There are different ways to identify the element. Basic thing is you have to understand which one you want to use it, right? You can use it different things. As of now, in our code, we are using XPath. So this one is the XPath for this particular element. We are saying that find out one anchor element where the text is login. It's like this. And storing it in a locator. Like this. Then what you want to do? You want to click that thing. You want to click on it. Okay. Now, you don't have to use thread.slave. Why I have used? Just to show you that step by step, slowly you will be able to see what is happening. Otherwise, if I'll delete it, it will happen very fast that you will not be able to see what is happening in the website, right? Once you click on it, what we want to do? We want to identify this particular text box. So let's identify this text box. It has input type is equals to text, ID is equals to login mail, class is equals to something, placeholder is equal to something, and these are the details. See, if I hover over in here, it is highlighting this. If I go to the password field here, if I hover, it is highlighting this part. Okay. So inspection is itself, it will take one class to make you people understand what different kind of locators we use while doing automation. Here, if you see the code, it's very simple that we are finding out using login email, which is ID. So the shortcut for ID is hash. If you are writing CSS selector for that. So here, if you see, the ID is login underscore email. So I want to use this thing as an ID. So I can write the code is like pg.locator means find this based on this and then type this. So there is a function dot type which you can use. There is fill function also. We'll talk about it during session. Then again, I want to wait. Then I want to specify the password. Then I want to click on the login button. So all these code are same step by step, finding out the element based on the locator technique. And then you perform some action. So click is kind of action. Type is action on the element. Done. And then we are validating something. So let me uncomment this. So basically what we want to do now is once you provide user ID and password here, which is invalid, let's say. So I'm putting something, some random thing here. Click on the login. So this is also element. This label or the error is also element. So I want to identify that, find out an element which has class value as indicator red and what is the text of it and whether it is matching with my expected text or not. This is the actual text. So in the code, I am identifying that thing through this, that where class contains indicator, class contains red, get the text content and print it. Let's print it first, right? So I will actually put a debug point here. all the code, like how you write it, then that we will learn later on. But let's debug this thing. So I'll right click and I'll say debug as Java application. So that debug means it will stop at this point. It will perform all these things and then the code will get paused at line number 36 so that you can execute that line by line. It's like this. So if you see here, this Chrome browser got open automatically and it is doing all this thing. I am not doing it. It is through the code happening. Okay. Now I will show you both the things. This is our browser and this is our code. Let's switch it. Let me minimize it so that you will see the code also. What is happening in the code. Hold on. We are here, right? Yes. So we are at line number 36, which is doing this thing. I will do next line execution. So if you see here, if I hover over it in my code, I'm able to get invalid login, try again. See here in the code, I'm able to get it. Through the code, I'm able to get that, what is that error message? And then I will write the assertion that, assert it whether this actual error message is matching with the um, expected error message, which is this, right? So there are different ways. I'm not going into assertion part as of now. Thing is, there are different ways to assert it. There are a lot of functions available about the assertion part. Okay, it's like this. Playwright also provides a lot of assertions related to locator, related to whether it is visible or not, a lot of things. I'm stopping it here as of now, but our purpose is complete step by step opening the browser and all. Let me run it again so that you will able to visualize what I'm saying. So let me minimize this and let's run it again. So to run it, I will say in my project, in my this project, right click, run as Java. You will observe that something is get open here. You will observe it. See here, this browser is open and it is doing, it has gone to the login page. I'm not doing anything. Everything is happening through the code. The user ID it has provided. After 4 seconds, it is providing the password. Now it will click on the login and everything will happen. Like it will capture this error message and it will close the browser also. So in the code, if you see, we have written page.close, browser.close, playwright.close, that thing. This is a very, very simple example of how you proceed with the Playwright code. If you have worked with the Selenium, you will feel that okay, it's something similar to Selenium. Yes, 80% of the code is same. 80% of how you write the code is, if you will, compare, it's same. In fact, in all the tool, it's same. The difference will come in terms of how you manage the browser, how you want to do parallel testing, how you manage your framework. A bit difference you will be able to see in that terms. So the syllabus will be simple. We will understand about the architecture in first hour. So there are number of hours I have written here and the topics here. We'll understand about the installation and all within 1 hour. Then we'll understand about, when you do UI automation, what are the things you have to consider, how to find the element and all those things, right? How to learn HTML and all. Then finding element will take 2 hours. Framework creation will take 5 hours. Test data management 1 hour. Utility creation, some reusable functions we will create and we will understand the importance of it. We'll create page object model. We'll understand about the reporting mechanism. We will do GitHub and Jenkins practical thing in 2 hours. It will take around 20 hours. It's approximately, it may be 21 or 22. It may happen. It's like this. But basic thing is if we will spend our 4 hours in a week from my side to deliver this, it will take 5 to 6 weeks. It's like this. But at the same time, you have to spend 1 extra hour every day to work on it, or maybe in weekends to practice more. It's like this. This is how the session will go on. That's it about playwright part here. Let me know if you have any query now.